There is a classic line from the sitcom Cheers. Norman Peterson walks into the bar and gets his regular greeting, "Norm!" And then Woody, the bartender, asks, "How was your day, Mr. Peterson?" And Norm replies, "It's a dog-eat-dog world out there, and I'm wearing milk-bone underwear." Oh, man. You ever feel that way? Not only was Cheers a beloved sitcom of the 1980s and early 1990s, but so was its theme song, "Everybody Knows Your Name." Allow me to share some of those lyrics with you. Making your way in the world today takes everything you got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? All those nights when you've got no lights, the check is in the mail, and your little angel hung the cat up by its tail, and your third fiance didn't show. Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You want to be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You want to be where everybody knows your name. Boy, doesn't that song say it all? Isn't that the truth? It seems like that song was written for us in 2020. I don't remember anything that bad back in 1980. As we gather for worship here today, whether you're listening to this online, in the parking lot, or wherever, I want to remind you, you are loved. As part of this community, you are loved. I wish I could reach out and embrace you, each and every one of you, just hold you till these hard times are over and done with. You know, in times of hurt, of anxiety, of trauma, we just want to be around people who get us, people who understand who we are, what we need, and why we do what we do without having to explain ourselves. This is nothing new. From the very beginning of time, people have had this need. That's why God made Eve for Adam, so Adam didn't have to be alone. Today I'd like to focus on a couple of other Bible personalities to highlight my point. First, Mary, the mother of Jesus. When young Mary gets a visit from the angel Gabriel, like, come on, having an angel visitation isn't call and need in and of itself to get a friend to say, "Do you believe what just happened here?" But Mary is then told that she, an unwed teenager, is going to bear the Messiah, a child of God. Excuse me. Sorry about that. So Mary's told she's going to have this child of God. I'm guessing that's not too big of a responsibility to carry on your own, huh? The thing is, Mary's pregnancy could have gotten her killed, stoned to death. The whole town was going to be gossiping about who she was messing around with. Her reputation would be ruined. Her fiancé could reject her. Her life had been turned upside down with this angel news. So what did she do? She went to her kinswoman, probably her cousin, Elizabeth. She went where someone would get it, where somebody would understand her situation, this very unusual pregnancy. Mary went where everybody knew her name, and they were always glad she came. She wanted to be where she could see their troubles were all the same. She wanted to be where everyone knew her name. And then we have the story of Jesus and the 12 disciples at the Last Supper. Jesus was facing the crucifixion. He knew he would be tortured and killed. He knew the hatred, the hostility, and the betrayal that was awaiting him. The whole Roman Empire was out to get him. And they were also out to get those who followed and loved him. And those 12 disciples knew exactly that. The hardest chapter of their lives was beginning that very night. So they gathered together for a meal because they desperately needed to be where everybody knew their name, where they were always glad you came. They wanted to be where they could see their troubles were all the same. They wanted to be where everybody knew their name. Mary, Elizabeth, Jesus, the 12. They were all facing the challenge of a lifetime. They all needed to be with people who understood them. They all needed to be with people who understood their struggle. The fears, the worry, the unknown were just too heavy to carry alone. And so they turned to their beloved community. How are you feeling these days? How are the challenges in front of you doing? Are they just pushing you to the limit? What if we could take a break from all our worries? A break from the anger, the hostility, the arguing, the disagreeing, the fighting, and the ugliness. What if instead we sought the love of God that is manifested in each and every one of us? A manifested love which so easily gets lost during troubling times. We need people who understand us. We need places where we feel safe. We need each other desperately right now. Can we just pause for a moment and be in the presence of each other and of God's love? Allow yourself to receive love from this community. And be sure to love each of us back in return. We need each other in all of our differences and in all of our similarities. You are loved. May it be so for you and for me. Amen.